Hello, Classroom 4. Welcome back to Social Skills. This is going to be your last and final video for the week, Wednesday, April 8th. Tomorrow and Friday, you guys are off for spring break, so I hope you guys enjoy your 2 days off. You're also off on Monday, too, so I hope you actually enjoy your 3 days off. I know this has been a little hard for everybody to adjust, but I hope that everything is going well, and I want you guys to remember that if you have any questions or concerns, that you can always reach out to Mrs. Harris or I. So today we are going to continue talking about conflict. And today we are going to talk about the various factors that can lead to conflict, and we are going to talk about constructive and destructive ways that conflict can be handled. So first, we're going to talk about the various factors, and the factors that we are going to talk about that can lead to conflict are resources, information, emotional and psychological factors, values, relationships and roles, and power and structure. So the first one, resources. So when you're dealing with a conflict that involves resources, this is going to be materialistic things, such as your sibling taking something from your room without asking, a peer taking something off of your desk. Number two is information. So, not having enough information about something or having incorrect information or perceiving something differently than another person can also cause conflict. And this can be something like a rumor that was started by a peer that can cause conflict. The third one, emotional and psychological factors, such as bad day reactions, can cause conflict. So this could be you being at school, having a bad day, coming home, and you're just still not feeling okay, and your mom asking you how your day was, and you blow up on her, not meaning to, but you're just taking your anger out, kind of like the Scholastic Choices articles that we read yesterday, whenever it was talking about Sophie kind of just blowing up, not meaning to, because she was trying to be quiet, but she did blow up. So there are emotional and psychological factors, obviously, that can lead to conflicts. The fourth one is values. This can be things such as religion, political views, or any other personal beliefs you may have that are different from someone else. Relationships and roles. This type of conflict is going to occur when people don't fulfill how someone may see their role. So, an example of this can be your friend going to the movies with someone else and not inviting you, sort of like what we talked about yesterday in the Scholastic Choices article with Amy and Willow. And that was when we discussed the silent treatment. Um, and then the last factor that can lead to conflict is power and structure. So this factor is going to be who has access to power and or resources, and who has the authority to make decisions. An example of this can be a student getting into trouble by a teacher or a principal and feeling like their side of the story was not heard. So those are all of the factors that can lead to conflict. So now we are going to move on and talk about the constructive and destructive ways that you can deal with conflict. We often think of conflicts as bad or unfortunate situations, and we want to try to avoid them if possible. But conflict is actually a good thing. It's a natural thing. It's going to happen whether you want it to or not. And conflicts are opportunities to make something better. They challenge us to learn, create, and improve ourselves. Um, Conflicts get their bad rap from the ways in which people choose to respond to them. So, how you respond to a conflict is totally up to how you are feeling in that moment. But the bad thing usually is how you respond to it. And there are multiple ways to react in conflict situations, and some are destructive and some are constructive ways. So I'm going to read to you an example, and then we're going to talk about the constructive and deconstructive ways that one may respond. So, my brother always wears my clothes. So, let's think of some constructive ways to handle this conflict. So, you go up and you approach your brother. A constructive way, so a good way to handle this would be you could ask him if he knows which clothes belong to you, or you could offer to mark your clothes. So kind of play it off like, oh, mom must have put this in your drawer instead of mine. Let's mark it and I'll put my initials on it. Um, or you could offer to show your brother where you bought your shorts or your whatever you're wearing. You could kind of give him an idea of where he could get his own pair. And then you could also let him know that him wearing your clothes bothers you, and see what he has to say about it. See if he has any solutions for you guys to come up with. Um, and I think that those are all pretty simple ways of handling the situation, very mature ways. Um, and then the deconstructive, or the destructive ways to handle the conflict could be, you could yell at him, you could hit him whenever you see him wearing your clothes, which isn't really going to solve anything, and it's just going to make everything hostile. You could wear his clothes without asking, since he's wearing yours, which kind of seems a little immature. Or you could keep all your clothes dirty so he won't want to wear them, which also sounds super silly. I think the constructive ways obviously sound a lot better in this situation. And these constructive ways are going to lead to learning, problem solving, and better relationships. So by me going up to my brother and saying, "Oh, do you like my shirt? I can show you where I bought it." Or, "Oh, mom must have put that shirt in your drawer instead of mine. Let me put my initials on it." That is going to, I mean, that's just going to help your relationship, and it's not hostile. You're not being mean, and you're problem solving together. So that could even lead to you like taking your brother shopping or helping him, find the clothes that you wear that he likes. Um, and these destructive ways are obviously going to lead to escalation and poor relationships. I mean, I wouldn't go up and like beat the crap out of my brother just because he was wearing my shirt. I would be more willing to verbalize my feelings and talk to him about it and come up with a better solution. Um, so in your email, you guys got a constructive versus destructive responses worksheet. And there are two conflicts that I want you guys um, to think about. So you're going to come up with a constructive and destructive way to respond to each. So, number one, in years past, both the debate team and the mathlete team received money from the school for materials and to travel to competitions. This year, budget cuts have left less money for student clubs, and the school will only be able to fund one of the teams. You are on the debate team and would hate to see it disappear. You also have many friends who are mathletes and know they value their club just as much as you value yours. So, one way that you could respond to this conflict destructively, and what consequences are going to come out of that response. And then a way that you could respond constructively, and what consequences might result from that response. Number two, this year for Halloween, you and two of your friends dressed up as the three amigos. You wore sombreros and vests and spoke with a fake accent. During the day, you learn that your costume has offended some of your classmates. They feel that your dress and some of your actions are disrespectful to their culture. You don't mean any harm, but you're really proud of your costume and would like to continue wearing it. So, for this example, you are also going to tell me how you would respond um, destructively and constructively, and what consequences might result out of each of those. So for right now, I want you guys to go ahead and work on that video. And then I'm going to be putting up a part 2 for today. So that's all I have for right now. I'll see you guys in a little bit.